Hello, everyone. I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com, and I got another movie to review for you guys, and that would be Manchester by the Sea. Now, if you don't know what this film is about, congratulations. I am here to relay that information. Casey Affleck plays this guy who is an uncle, and one of his brothers dies, and he has to go take care of his nephew for a little bit. That's it. Listen, I was looking forward to this movie ever since I saw the trailer. I thought the acting looked really spectacular. I'm a huge sucker for those critic quotes, those damn critic quotes. It's fantastic. It's marvelous. You will be blown away. Okay, critic from Indiana somewhere, I trust you. But from the acting and just from the way it looked and stuff, it looked like it was going to be really kind of an emotional type of movie about loss and how people grieve in certain ways and whatnot. And did I get that? Absolutely. And I saw this movie a month ago, so I wanted to sit on it for a while to see how it would affect me a month out. And I still think about it quite a bit. And it's still one of my favorite films of the year. Not in top 5, but it'll be in there somewhere. So let's get real and break down Manchester by the Sea. So start with the writing and directing. Now, the way the story is written, it feels authentic. It feels so natural, and it feels like I'm watching real life people go through these situations that are really, really terrible, by the way. But I never felt once I was watching a movie. I felt like I was watching real people. I was dropped into this town, and I felt the community. I felt all the the neighbors across the street. Like I said, I felt like a documentary. It was pretty great on how grounded in reality that it was. And for the overall story, it is very kind of one note. The uncle finds out that brother has passed. He goes take care of nephew, and he grieves in his own past and what he's gone through, and then the nephew has to go and grieve through the loss of his father. And then throughout the whole movie, we kind of see like flashbacks of like their characters and stuff, which was very, very helpful to get where everyone was coming from. And I felt like they were playing real people. I felt like the emotions that they were portraying and just the way they looked and the way the facial acting and their eyes and stuff. I felt like these were real life characters that were breathing on screen. I didn't feel like once I was watching like a fictional character. I felt like I was watching someone that I knew down the street or something. And so when you have like the authentic characters and the emotion behind them, you can have a really good movie on your hands. And I think what this one does very, very well. And I also really think this movie does very well is the whole loss and grievance process and whatnot. Everyone copes with loss differently. And I love how everyone's kind of got like their own little thing that they do. Like Casey Affleck, he's a very hardened person. He does not emote to many people. He's very like stern and whatnot. And then, the nephew goes out with his friends and whatnot, and then he might break down later in the movie or whatever. Like people deal with loss and grief differently. And I felt like the director really kind of captured that and showing the different kind of things that people do during that process and how people cope with it and how terrible it is. But in reality, you do have to accept it and move on. And I really appreciate that. So going into the directing, once again, I felt like these were real people. I never felt once that the director took anything for granted. I saw the passion in this project. I saw the really kind of emotional core that he was trying to present, and just terrible things that happen to you in your life you have no control over, but you have to deal with it and eventually accept it and move on. And I thought he really kind of captured just a slice of life, because that's the other thing I really appreciate is that there's humor sprinkled throughout this film, and there's sad parts sprinkled throughout. There's brightness and optimism sprinkled throughout. It's just what life is like. Life could be up here at one moment, and then it can be down the next moment. And so it felt like I said, going back to that whole grounded reality and the authenticity of real life. I appreciate what the director did. And I love the whole non-linear aspect of it, of showing the story and then going back to kind of see to peel back the layers of the characters, if you will. I appreciate that. The acting is top notch. Casey Affleck is so good. Very consistent with this character. Never broke once. I felt like he really kind of showed a lot of subtle acting. Wasn't really like overblown. There was one scene that was like kind of like, you know, rage or whatever, but that's understandable when you realize what happened. But with his character and just the way his whole demeanor is, he delivered it perfectly. And there's even a couple scenes, like I said, where he breaks down and stuff, and like you really see where his character's coming from, really kind of adding to the realness of his performance. And I thought Casey Affleck killed it. He's so good in this film. He will get nominated for Best Actor. Don't know if he'll win, but I know he'll get nominated for sure. The supporting cast is also top notch. The kid that plays the nephew, forgot his name, I apologize. He is very good as well. Having the whole kind of arc of a teenager losing his father at that age, and you know, how you cope with it and whatnot. I thought he kind of nailed that kind of beautifully. And then Michelle Williams, she's only like in there for 3 scenes. Not even joking, 3 scenes, but those 3 scenes are very crucial for Casey Affleck's character, and she really brought a lot of heart and devastation to her character that I felt very deeply when I saw her performance kind of illuminate on screen. Kyle Chandler, listen, I'm a huge Kyle Chandler fan. Bloodline is one of my favorite shows on Netflix right now. He's fine. He's not like anything special, but he's fine. Everyone else, fine. But it's those 3 that you want to concentrate on the movie for, and I think they deliver out of the park performances to where that will definitely keep your attention. Cinematography, it looks good. They filmed it, I believe. I don't really know my geography. Is it in Boston? Is he Boston? You can tell I'm from Texas. Anyways, they do film it like in a very small town and whatnot, and I like the intimacy of the community and the way it was shot and just how it felt very, you know, very homey, very communal and stuff. So yeah, it was shot very well for the locations that they had. It was quite beautiful. I love the East Coast and the colors and the water and how it contrasts and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's a very well shot movie. Editing wise, the movie's about, I want to say like 2 hours long. I never felt bored once. I think it was the unraveling of Casey Affleck's character that really kept me like engaged in the story and really kind of like on board throughout this entire thing. I really wanted to see where this movie went, and I was with it the entire time. I thought it had like a very mellow pace to it. It wasn't like, you know, anything fast, bang 'em up, flash and whatnot, but it was very, very calm, very mellow, and it just let the performances and the emotions of the characters just kind of bring you in and kind of let you feel the intensity from their performances rather than the movie itself, which is not really a bad. Not a bad thing. So I think for the most part, it's got a nice steady pace to it. A lot of people do have a problem with the way the movie ends. I do not. A lot of people say it's abrupt. I say that's what life is like. So I totally understand where the director was coming from. So the end didn't really bother me like it did with some people. And the music is really good too. Like I said, just adds another layer to that emotion and whatnot. And I thought it was very kind of classic, kind of old school a little bit. I really appreciate it, especially since this film did kind of seem like an old school film. Just very, you know, no special effects, very intimate, very character driven. It just felt very nice. Even though the content and subject matter are very devastating sometimes. So overall, guys, listen, Manchester by the Sea is one of my favorites of the year. Definitely top 10 material, probably bottom 10. After seeing it a month ago, I have thought about it. I really don't want to rewatch it again. It's just, it doesn't really have a rewatchability factor, and that's why I got to nick my grade just a little bit. But overall, guys, as a whole, it's a really well done film about loss and the grievance process, and just how important it is to accept it and have people around you to support you through these terrible times. especially since we can't control any of it, because guess what, guys? That is life. So, guys, I'm going to give Manchester by the Sea an A minus. I was going to give it an A, but I think the rewatchability factor is not really strong for me, so I'm going to dip it down just a half a tick. But I think when you talk about writing, directing, acting, cinematography, and editing, music, all that stuff, I think it's a very well done film and definitely top 10 material. Unless I see something else that'll bump it out, but it's been in there for a month, so I guess it's saying something. So, what did you guys think of Manchester by the Sea? Have you even heard of it? Comment in the place, roll my face, and let me know. And this is definitely my favorite Casey Affleck movie for sure. Yeah, so let me know down below. That will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.